Wow. Wow. What an unbelievable Ravens Steelers game. Live reaction, Paul Farrington show. Congratulations to Jack, who is freaking out in our group chat again. Jack had the flu, so he could really use a win tonight. And a little bit of that blue sky franchise Steelers magic, right? That's what we always say on this show. The Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, blue sky magic. Things happen in their stadiums in these games when it all matters. It usually seems like the ball breaks their way. And the Pittsburgh Steelers in just an unbelievable football game. That is the best the National Football League can offer right there. Those two teams, that kind of a game, as dramatic as it can possibly be with the Boswell missing, Loop missing. It was just getting ready for the show. I can't tell you guys how many times, and I appreciate everybody who's tuning in for the live reaction right now. Appreciate everyone, as always, for the support. I'm going back and forth on what the main story is going to be for this episode. Is it going to be Lamar Jackson? Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers? In the beginning of the fourth quarter, it looked like this was a classic Steelers-Ravens game. 13-10 going into the fourth. Kind of just a dogfight, between these two teams, as it always is, hitting really hard. Lamar took a couple big-time shots. Derrick Henry, I mean, everyone involved in this game, whenever they play, they just hit each other so hard. The physicality is always off the charts. And you see the fourth quarter start here. I just have the drive chart up right now. All of a sudden, it turns into a shootout. The secondaries decide to stop playing. Zay Flowers is wide open all over the place. Aaron Rodgers with just a few vintage Aaron Rodgers throws. Calvin Austin breaks Chidobe Awuzie's ankles to take the lead. And then, what we say on this show, and Jack says it all the time, Chris Boswell, MVP of the Steelers. He's mostly joking, but hadn't missed an extra point all year. Pushes it right. Oh, you could see the writing on the wall. Jack just texted, "Oh my God," 7 times in a row in our group chat. Because you can feel it, right? And then the long kickoff to the 50-yard line. You need what? You need like 10, 15 yards in today's league to be able to push that through. It should be a gimme. And that final drive for Baltimore, I swear I switched up what I was going to talk about at least 3 times. Because you get to the 2nd and 7, and Ronnie Stanley has the illegal formation. Lamar Jackson then on the 3rd and 7 makes just an unbelievable play with Nick Herbig all over him to get the ball away and keep it manageable at 4th and 7. And Isaiah Likely then has the catch of a lifetime. Like Isaiah Likely's made a couple big time plays for the Ravens. He is an awesome tight end, especially when you have him with Mark Andrews, right? He's a great number 2 tight end to have. And he makes just an unbelievable play on 4th and 7. Lamar makes a great throw. Jalen Ramsey completely whiffs. All right, that should have been a play that Ramsey should have broken up. And game's over. Game should be over. Tyler Loop comes out, 44-yard field goal. And I don't know what it is about the Pittsburgh Steelers when they're in that stadium. The magic that they have there. Maybe an echo or a ghost whisper pushes it right, and the Steelers advance. Aaron Rodgers' season stays alive as the Steelers win 26-24, and they'll be hosting the Houston Texans, I believe, on Monday Night Football next week in the wild card round of the playoffs. Just as good of a game as you can have for the kind of season this was, with the ups and downs, right? The spectacular finishes and teams moving from last to first and first to last in the standings all year long. The crazy comebacks. The Bears have had, like 4 or 5 of them on their own. For that to be the final game of the regular season was just perfectly fitting. And it stinks to see it end in that way for the kickers, because your heart goes out to Boswell after he misses. You see him on the sideline. All the guys on the Steelers just shaking their heads, kind of in disbelief of what just happened. Because not only does he miss the kick, but then you have the 4th and 7 conversion, the way it happened. And on the other side of things, it switches over now to where you just can't help but feel bad for Baltimore and Loop when, that's a kick he's making 9 times out of 10. I can't remember the stat they said before he kicked it, but the only misses he had, I think, or most of them were from 50-plus yards. And it's just a gut-wrenching, sickening way to lose, especially for Ravens fans who watched that game and saw the end of that, and Lamar Jackson starting to look like Lamar Jackson again. You're thinking, okay, if we're hosting this thing, we get Houston. The defense is good, but should be able to slow down CJ Stroud. And you start thinking, okay, we got it's Lamar and Allen. They're the two top dogs in this playoff field for the AFC. And now, just like that, you're on the couch and Aaron Rodgers and Pittsburgh go on to see another day here. It was just, I mean, that's as good a game as you get. That's amazing. And now next week we'll have Packers Bears. So the rivalry games, everything. It is. Well, I'm gonna have to change the title of the video. I got carried away and just started it up without switching up what the title was gonna be. That it was just amazing in that fourth quarter there. Okay, so a couple things to talk about here because there is just so much to talk about after a game like that. For the Steelers, that's why you get Aaron Rodgers. That's why I wanted Aaron Rodgers as a Viking fan. In that fourth quarter, a handful of the throws that you saw, I mean, third and fourth quarter really, but the throw down the seam to Adam Thielen to make it 13-10, I believe, and then the throw to Freiermuth, right, on the first of their 2 touchdown drives in the fourth quarter. Vintage A-Rod. I mean, just picture perfect. Guy's not open. Well, he's going to throw him open. And he hits Calvin Austin on the big, I think it was 3rd and 10, right, with like a minute left in the game. Rodgers made some throws tonight that you just weren't getting if you were a Steeler fan over the past few years. I'm sorry, but Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, they're not winning that football game, right? They're not going to go toe-to-toe with Lamar Jackson in that situation and win that game. It's just something that the Steelers have struggled with for years now, and Rodgers came in, and I know that 10-7, that's not a record that traditionally will win the AFC North. It's actually the worst record that wins the division now, I believe since 2021 when the Bengals won at 10-7. Teams have been winning with 12 or 13 wins since then. But look, this is the way that division is this year. It's competitive. The teams have been up and down all year, and Rodgers in this game made enough plays, especially without DK Metcalf, right? And if the Steelers had lost, man, I would be pissed off at DK Metcalf if I were a Steeler fan because he means everything to that offense, especially the receiving group, which is completely limited without him. And Rodgers goes into this game without his top weapon, and he's able to get the job done here. That's exactly why you go get Aaron Rodgers. And the reason now that you can believe as a Steeler fan, these previous seasons, when they've snuck in, yes, with a similar record, they've been going on the road. They're going to Buffalo. They're going to Baltimore. They're going to Kansas City with Mason Rudolph leading the way. And it's not supposed to be a shot at Mason Rudolph or Pickett or Trubisky, right? Those are backup quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers is a stud. He's still a stud. And now they get the home games. So they could very well, I haven't made up my mind here, but they could very well beat the Houston Texans. When you have the Steelers, again, in that building, anything is possible for them. And they're getting Metcalf back. At one point I was ready to come on here and say the Steeler defense took over the game. That was going to be the reason that they won this thing. Well, no, they had to rely on Aaron at the end, and Aaron was good enough to get the job done. It's a little bit tough watching it. Again, all year long, there's been this jab in the side, sort of, as a Viking fan of Rodgers has been so good. Darnold has been so good. But that's why you go get these guys, right? That's why you get the Aaron Rodgers, because you think he's got a little magic left in the tank. And it looks like he's having a lot of fun in Pittsburgh right now. I don't know how far I want to talk about the Steelers going right now, but that's not the point. The point is, in a do-or-die game with Lamar Jackson playing like an MVP in the fourth quarter, Aaron Rodgers matched him stride for stride. And that makes the Steelers very dangerous. It was amazing. It was really fun watching that thing. I'm going to see what is Jack saying here. I haven't even see January in Pittsburgh, all caps. Damn, I wish we got Metcalf back now. Oh, wait, we do. So, yes, Jack is very excited, to say the least, about this Steeler team. And, man, Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, I thought the defense for most of the game, right, up until the end when Zay Flowers was wide open, the Steelers defense was great. And Lamar just made a few plays that you'd kind of tip your cap and say that's the reason he's an MVP of the league. If the Ravens won, the story I was going to have was, in the early fourth quarter, Lamar has 82 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Looks pedestrian out there. And all of a sudden on that play with Keanu Benton and Alex Highsmith bearing down on him, about to sandwich him, Lamar magically escapes and that's when he finds Zay Flowers for the 50-yard touchdown. And I was going to say, that was the moment, right, that Lamar Jackson, with all the crap that he's gone through this year, the ankle injury, toe injury, back injury, he's been under the weather, reports about him playing too many video games and fighting with Harbaugh. Does he want to be a Raven? With all that looming over him, plus a bad game in Pittsburgh, a building where he always struggles, a team that he usually struggles against, he makes that play. And then he follows it up, right, by finding Flowers again, like a little later in the quarter. It was, all right, Lamar Jackson snapped out of the funk. And again, he took so many big shots tonight that for him to continue to just, get up, especially because we know he's hurt. We know he's been hurt all year. I thought it was an unbelievable bounce back from Lamar. I was rooting for the Steelers for Jack. But, man, if you got Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, it ups the ante a little bit. And I'm very happy to see Aaron Rodgers. That'll be a fun storyline. But Lamar Jackson finally looked like Lamar in the fourth quarter tonight. I mean, guys, this year, Lamar has not been great. He went a stretch, right? Remember, right after I traded for him in fantasy football, 3 straight games, first time in his career with no touchdown passes. Derrick Henry was getting stifled after the first quarter, where he ran for 120 yards in the first half, and he ended with 126. Like, I mean, it was not a good showing from the Ravens offense for most of the night. And then Lamar got it going, and I thought that 3rd and 7 play that he made on the final drive with Herbig all over him to throw the ball away. I don't know how he did it. That was going to be, it was that and the escape touchdown to Zay Flowers were going to be the plays that I look back on saying, all right, Lamar did things that 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league can do tonight when it mattered most. And that's the crushing thing about being a football fan. And that's one thing I always try and remind myself when I'm watching these games. It just takes one crazy thing to happen, or it just takes one guy losing their mind for one play, right, and making a play. Tonight, it was Tyler Loop pushing a kick a little right. And it would have been fun to see this game go into overtime. My dad and I were watching it, and my mom and my dad said, it feels like an overtime game. It's a game you want to see go to overtime. But maybe in some sense, with the year that we've had, it was fitting for it to end like this with that level drama, right? All or nothing, pretty much. And unfortunately for Baltimore, kick just didn't go in. But man, and you have to wonder how much the loss of Kyle Hamilton, as everyone knows, I used to produce a show Inside the Garage, felt horrible for Kyle, seeing him go out with a concussion tonight. And when he left the game, in the early third quarter, 3 points for the Steelers, and they were allowing 3.9 yards per play. They showed the graphic in the middle of the fourth, so it probably only got worse. But, from then on, they allowed 23 more points and over 5 yards per play when Kyle left. We know he means everything to that defense, and it sucks to see him go down in a game of this magnitude. And it sucked to see what happened to the Baltimore defense after that. They were just reliant on him for so many things. All season long, but especially in this game, and his impact was immediately felt. It was, the Steelers took advantage as soon as he left the game, and man, I did not see that ending coming with the way that the game had been progressing earlier. We got almost 500 people watching right now. Really appreciate that. I see Josh Martin says no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar. Josh Allen has zero excuse, and that's a great point. It's the point that we've been making on this show for weeks, right? Because it didn't look like the Ravens were going to get in for a while here. And it's Josh Allen's field. I know Drake May is going to win the MVP. I know Denver has, really strong defense, great home field environment. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags are hot. Aaron Rodgers is there, but this is Josh Allen's time now. And that's what makes it so difficult for the Ravens is, as I said off the top of the show, you were looking at a playoff field where it's you in Buffalo, right? And you want revenge for Buffalo from last year, at least in these fans' minds, right? Okay, I understand that fans of these other AFC teams are saying, whoa, we won 13, 14 games here. Like, let's give us some credit. Sure. In the minds of Ravens fans, the minds of Bills fans right now, you have the top dog in the field. And on one kick, you don't. So, Buffalo here's the 6th seed. I was saying before in the earlier reaction show, it was bizarre to me to have the Chargers resting their guys because you think Buffalo can go on a run. Um, and you'd much rather have, right, Buffalo in your home stadium than going to Buffalo. That's one thing that they're going to have to work through. And Josh is going to have to pull off what Mahomes and the Chiefs did just a season ago, or 2 seasons ago, where they went on the road in every single game and won. It's going to be, if Josh is going to do it, it will be a statement year for them, because they're going to have to go, first round to Jacksonville, right? And then probably to New England, and then maybe to Denver. Again, tough places to play, tough teams, but it does feel like Josh Allen's field. Asleep Eel says, do you think this was Harrison Smith's last game, or is he going to play another year? It sure seems like it's his last game. I would be shocked to see him come back. The way, again, they give him the ovation. He's been speaking as if it's his last game. They asked him, do you think you'll come back? And he said, I'm very much leaning one way. We all know that he's retiring, basically. And it sucks to see. It's sad to see. And I tweeted this out today, actually. And please drop in some questions, guys. Well, I'll try to get to as many as I can here. Not going to be super long, but let's just have some fun here. Why not? I remember as a freshman at Notre Dame, we used to dye our hair blonde, the freshmen, for the first game. Not hazing, right? It wasn't hazing. I know people got all up in arms about that. But anyway, I remember one day, Vikings had a bye, and a couple guys were at the game on Saturday. Sunday morning, I wake up, go to church, I'm biking around, and I'm like, definitely bike by Harrison Smith. So I call Jack, and I do a little U-turn here, and I'm just sort of loosely stalking who I think is Harrison Smith. I say to Jack, I'm pretty sure I'm following Harry right now. Like, I have to say something, right? And Jack goes, yeah, you have to. You just have to. So I bike up with Jack still in my ear. I bike up next to Harrison Smith. I just go, you're Harrison Smith, right? And he's like, yeah. So I get off the bike, hang up on Jack, and right as I'm going to introduce myself, his wife gets a phone call from, I think it was Verizon or someone, the call that she'd been waiting for from some company, and she looks and goes, excuse me, guys, and just walks away. And Harrison and I just look at each other kind of blankly, like, am I supposed to leave now? Like, what just happened? And I always appreciate it. It was very nice. For like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, he just talked to me about getting used to life at Notre Dame. And I asked him about Teddy Bridgewater's knee, how he was recovering. I mean, he's just a super nice guy. I got a picture with him where I look like a total idiot. But he was just a great dude and a great Viking all time. One of my favorite players ever. So hopefully, this is going to be his last game. I hope that, I wish him the best moving forward and everything else. But okay, back to Ravens Steelers for a second here. Man, again, congrats to Jack, who is just on top of the world right now. I wonder if Jack's going to go to that game on Monday. Not sure yet. Oh, he goes, let me call through the mic for 2 minutes. All right, hold on. Let's give Jack a call. Really kind of nervous about what he might say here. I'll put it on speaker. Don't want to get canceled now. All right, Jack, you're live right now. So
Sweet. I want to say hi to everybody, and I'll be back soon. Am I coming in clearly?
I think so.
Okay. I'll be back soon. I'm recovering from the flu. But I'm leaving you guys with this. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Boo, boo. Super Bowl's back on, baby. It's the haunted house. Western Pennsylvania at night in January is a haunted house. Aaron Rodgers turned back the clock. So, I knew he was going to score in that final drive. You knew it.
Like, Rodgers was unbelievable. I was saying Rodgers that's why you get Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I mean, the Super Bowl is on in Pittsburgh. You should have seen what it was like.
The Super Bowl
in my house when he missed that field goal. I'm sure you what it was like when Boz missed the extra point.
I can't imagine. You should have. Did you videotape it? You guys, did you get a video?
We got a video of the 4th and 7.
Oh, can you send that? Can you send that to me?
When Lamar threw that nonsense to Likely.
Oh my gosh, that was a great catch. Yeah. Ramsey whiffed.
We didn't get a video of the
Oh
field
my
goal,
gosh.
but I mean, I thought for sure he was making it. It was 44 yards. So but
yeah, it was over. You and the Packers. You're the only teams.
And now, I mean, we get Houston in the cold weather. That's a win. the Chargers and Bills both win on the road. We're not going to leave Pittsburgh until the Super Bowl.
No, I was saying there's a very good chance that you could, if the Bills go on a run here.
This is going to be Aaron Rodgers winning a Super Bowl in San Francisco. I mean, can you believe that?
It's fitting.
I think Tyler Loop deserves a spot in the Steelers Hall of Fame. But
oh, poor Tyler Loop.
That's all I called to say. But congrats to the Bears and the Packers too. We'll see. I'll see one of you guys in the Super Bowl, hopefully.
Flu game, Jack. It was your flu game tonight.
It was my flu game, but I think I'm fully recovered now.
All right. Yeah, someone said here, Jack's #1 flu remedy. Big Steelers win here. All right. I'll talk to you later.
I'll be back on the next recording.
Great. All right, great. Everyone's looking forward to it. We need you back. I can't do this by myself forever.
No, I miss the crew.
All right. See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Gotta be like, some of the worst podcasts you could do, having a phone call with somebody else. But I hope everybody enjoyed that. Yeah, Jack's been really under the weather. I mean, he was like, he said he could come over and record tonight, but dude's had the flu for a few days. He's like, I don't want to. I'm still very contagious. So, all right. Historical Gamer says Rodgers versus that Texans defense. I would not be optimistic. He's going to need 2013 scrambling Rodgers to have a prayer. Yeah, that's. Look, out of the 3 wildcard teams, though, for them, Houston, LA, and the Bills, I think you roll the dice on Houston. I get, right? I came out here a couple days ago and said if there's any one unit for a team in this playoff field in the AFC that I trust, it's trusting the Texans defense the most. Now, I don't know if Riley Leonard, and how about a congratulations to Riley Leonard? I mean, I'm going to clap that up for Riley Leonard. I was so happy to see the Notre Dame guy go out and have just a monster day today against the best defense in the league that was trying to win the game. So maybe Riley exposed some flaws that Houston has. But again, yeah, great defense in Houston. I think if you're a Steeler fan, you roll the dice on them as opposed to LA, who beat the crap out of you just a few weeks ago. Maybe you could talk me into LA again in a rematch. But I don't think you want Buffalo coming in there. I'd feel worse playing Buffalo than I do the Texans. Yes, Texans beat Buffalo. I don't care. I'd rather go against C.J. Stroud and the way he's played this season than Josh Allen. Don't want any piece of Josh Allen. So it's what is the spread? Yeah, has the spread come out for that game? I'm sure they'll. Hold on, let's see. This would be the time for a sportsbook to sponsor us, because I'm not going to shout out who I'm looking at. Okay. Spreads are all out. So we got Houston -3 in Pittsburgh. Man, I'm just telling you, again, weird things happen in Hines/Acrisure. I know I don't want to upset Steelers fans. Weird things happen there. TJ Watt will be back. Like you guys saw that interception tonight, right? Where it was batted up in the air and triple ricochets into TJ Watt's arms. That doesn't happen to the normal team. No. Who does that happen to? Happens to the Pittsburgh Steelers when they're playing in Pittsburgh. You can't see that happening against the Texans. Gun to my head, I might go Steelers right now. What are the other lines? Patriots -3.5 against the Chargers. I'll take New England. Eagles -3.5 hosting San Fran. I'm going to go Philly right now with the points. Again, I'm not big on San Francisco. The defense is... I just think the defense is a big problem. Saquon should have a big game. But, when their offense gets on a roll, they can win that game. Buffalo -1.5 at Jacksonville. I like Buffalo. I know Jacksonville's red hot, but again, feels like Josh's opportunity here. Packers -1.5 at Chicago. The Bears have had magic all year long. I do think the Packers will win that game. And the Rams, I'm taking over Carolina. No doubt in my mind. Historical gamer against us. Maybe the Steelers should just call a fake punt every play of the game. Yeah. Yeah, you could. I mean, yeah, you try something to trick them. All right. So we're going to wrap it up there. Again, just great finish to the regular season here. 26-24 Steelers win over the Ravens. It's the best the NFL can offer. That rivalry, that stage, Sunday Night Football. Oh, I want to say Sunday Night Football too. My good friend Caroline Pineda works on Sunday Night Football. She's Melissa Stark's assistant. Caroline will be a big time sideline reporter one day. Like, you clip that. They do such a great job, man. As someone who works in sports media and does graphics and packages like that sometimes. I mean, what they do on Sunday Night Football is so cool. Sorry to nerd out on that for a second, but they had that whole calendar Derrick Henry rushing segment. It's like that. You know how long that takes someone to make? Like, they just did a great job there. Okay, so regular season is in the books. We're going to be live during the playoffs. Of course, we'll be live after the Packers-Bears game. I'm going to try and have us be live after as many of the playoff games as we can, and we could just go through this entire ride together. This is the best part of the year, right? If your team's still alive. I guess for Vikings fans, we're used to usually this time of year is watching other teams playing football. But all right, Eric Anderson says, Pack fan here, so happy for Ham and Smith, and great finish for your Vikings. Football is life. Yeah, CJ Ham too, right? CJ Ham, another great Viking who got in the end zone today. It's great seeing CJ Ham in the end zone. I think one of the only other times I remember that happening was in the crazy Buffalo game that the Vikings won with the muff snap overtime during that magical year. So before I ramble on anymore, just going to say appreciate everyone again. Super fun this regular season. We're going to have a lot more fun during the playoffs, and we'll see you for all of it.